Hi everybody, my name is Peter Ribeiro and I'm going to be presenting on the Battle of Zama and how it affected Roman expansion. How did the Battle of Zama start? The Battle of Zama started after the Battle of Sinai. During this battle, Roman troops were surrounded by Hannibal's army. They took a major loss and this was not good for Rome. However, one of the survivors of Roman's army emerged from it, his name being Scipio, and went to the Senate of Sicily to request a legion to recover from that loss. However, the Senate of Sicily did not provide them with a legion. So he took it into his own hands and sent a message to the rest of the world asking for any troops who would be willing to back him or any veterans. He was successful and the Senate saw this. However, they had their doubts, but they did not stop him. Who was their opponent? Their main opponent of Scipio was Hannibal. However, Scipio's original plan was to go to North Africa and march on the city of Carthage. Carthage could not defend themselves, so Hannibal was sent to Zama, his hometown, to defend Carthage. During this time, however, Carthage was building up an army of war elephants and warriors, so to defend themselves from Scipio. Thus, the battle started. The battle started in 202 BCE, and I'm going to go over the formation because it is critical information to know how the formation was to see how Scipio won. So, on Hannibal's side, it started off with the war elephants in the front. Followed by them were mercenaries. Followed by the mercenaries in the second line were Carthage's new recruits. And then following that was the rest of Hannibal's army that was used in the Italian campaign. This army was massive because his Italian campaign, he went undefeated. So the back line, he had extremely experienced troops. And he also had a cavalry on each side of the wings. This cavalry was pretty small considering he had just got out of another battle. Now on Scipio's side, he was completely undermanned. He did not have as many troops as Hannibal nearly. So in order to make it look like he was strong, he had a huge front line and he just filled gaps with light skirmishers. However, behind his front line, in the gaps where he filled the light skirmishers, there were no troops because he could not fill up 3 full lines of troops. Although he did have a huge cavalry on each side because of his ally. So, to start the war, Hannibal sent half of his war elephants to attack. However, these war elephants must not have been trained very well because as they were going to attack, for whatever reason, they veered off to the left and attacked their own cavalry that was on the left side. Hannibal saw this as an advantage and sent his cavalry to defeat the other cavalry and the war elephants and run them off. So he was successful in that. Then Hannibal decided to send the rest of the war elephants forward. But as I said before, there were light skirmishers filling many gaps. So these skirmishers, when the war elephants were about to come, just moved back and the war elephants ran straight into the gaps. The army was able to enclose on all the elephants and defeat all the elephants. So now it was just basically infantry versus infantry. Because the cavalry on the other side were just fighting and Scipio's was advantageous and ran Hannibal's off. So it's just infantry versus infantry. Basically, Hannibal had about 36,000 infantry troops, meanwhile Scipio only had about 23,000. So Scipio was clearly unmanned. He was able to win by sending his first line forward and fighting conservatively. He beat 2 lines just by fighting conservatively. Then they realized that Scipio's cavalry was just spending all their time chasing off the other cavalry because they knew how undermanned Hannibal's cavalry was. However, the cavalry caught on to this and was able to surprise attack Hannibal's huge Italian campaign army, and they were able to become successful. From this, Rome won the Second Punic War, and it allowed them to be victorious over Hannibal. Thank you.